All right, so let's get after it. So the tools, systems, strategies, and support required to scale your business without losing your life. I'm Lars Hedenborg, the founder of Real Estate B School, and I am a self-proclaimed business freedom expert. And I say that real humbly because I've made every mistake you could possibly make in growing a business. So bottom line, I want to spend time today to show you a very, very clear path for you to make more money, have more freedom. Usually those two are not aligned in real estate, and then ultimately have more impact in your business. So you're in the right place if you are a real estate agent or team leader and you know there's another level of growth in your business and maybe even in your life. You know you want to hang around with business-minded real estate professionals rather than the average agents that are out there. You may be already above $1 million, so maybe it's your next million, but you at least want to get your business to $1 million plus. And have it systematically increase your net worth and systematically increase your time off. And you want to make that shift from agent, even if you're running a team, you're still selling homes, you're a producer, but you want to make the shift to business owner. And so we'll spend some time on that today as well. So you're also in the right place if you have some challenges right now. Maybe you're not where you want to be in your business or in your life. You don't have a clear path to financial freedom. Maybe you're working out of bounds. You're working way too many evenings and evenings, and you're letting maybe some of your loved ones down. If you're stressed more than anyone else you know and you can't seem to get it together, you're definitely in the right place. And then if you're missing out on the things that really matter and putting the urgent, quote unquote, I say matters of real estate, you're in the right place. I need you to at this point, understand that the journey to building a business that is leveraged, that allows you to make more money in less time with less stress, not only is it possible, but it's predictable if you have the right roadmap. So it's not necessarily a hard journey to scale your real estate business, even in today's climate. And I'll show you what that looks like here in our time together. A little bit about me. I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I'm a business builder. I'm obsessed with business. I have a podcast. You can see Real Estate Team Builders is the name of the podcast, and I'm a best-selling author. I don't have the book near me, but it's Scale or Die book.com. You can pick up a free copy of it. I went from a solo agent at 44 sides to over 400 sides in the Great Recession years, a handful of years later. That is what I set out to do, and I did it, and I got out of production. I built a highly profitable business. I have a multiple seven-figure liquid net worth. Like in less than 7 days, I can cut a check for multiple seven figures, and I only say that to let you know that I've actually achieved the thing that most people are setting out to achieve. It's a level of financial freedom. I have residual monthly income approaching $50,000 a month right now. Monday through Thursday is about what I work, 11 to 5. So I've got a great work week, take lots of vacation. Here is the most important thing is I've made every mistake that you can possibly make in business, and I'm willing to share them with you. A little bit more about me is that I came from a difficult upbringing. My parents divorced when I was 4. My father was an active alcoholic, drank until I was 15, a lot of chaos growing up. I had a bunch of student loans for a career that I didn't pursue. I didn't have really any money as a child, not a whole lot of financial support, kind of starting my journey, my adult journey. I didn't have any sales, marketing, or business building experience when I got into real estate. I did have a desire to grow and a willingness to bet on myself. This is 2007. I'm a new dad. I've only been married for about 14, 15 months, and I sell 27 homes in my first 10 months, instantly, 7 days a week. Our first family vacation, here I am working on a deal. Right? Raise your hand virtually if you've ever ruined a family vacation working on a deal. That was me. My motivation was when Kendall came into the world, the little infant thing on the right there, Anders' little sister. You can see Anders, he was a big drooler. You could see drool coming down. This was the motivation, is to provide a life for my family that they never thought was possible. And I knew I had to build the business in a way where I didn't get sucked into it 60, 70, 8 hours a week. And I was able to make a lot of money without putting a lot of time into that business. And so we've achieved quite an awesome life for ourselves. It's not always that glamorous. This is the Facebook picture where everyone is looking perfect. Anders' hair is perfect. This was our Christmas card probably 5 or 6 years ago, where Kendall was having a monumental meltdown. This is more like what our life is looking like. the question I have for you, and this was the question I answered early on in my journey, was, are you willing to take a risk and bet on yourself? That's all I need to know is, are you willing to take a risk and bet on yourself? I'm going to go through 5 steps that are critically important for you to scale your business without giving your life away. So step number 1 is how to think like a business owner when it comes to leveraged growth. And here's the guiding principle. You don't have to be a business owner to think like one, but you do have to think like a business owner to become one. Here was my guiding question when I got into real estate. How would I have to think about my real estate business differently if I were to replicate it 10,000 times? This is the E-Myth question. If you've not read the book E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber, the book is based on this concept of building a franchise prototype. Even if you never have a second business or second location, you build it in a way where it doesn't depend on you. That was my obsession. And it really was underpinned by my dad. This is my dad. Yeah, he was an alcoholic. He was challenged. He didn't show up great as a dad or a husband. He did have a dream of building a business, yet he was the E-Myth, entrepreneurial myth. He wanted to build a thriving business, yet he was sucked into all the little activities, the technical work, and never amounted to much as a business person. That is the fate of most real estate agents, unfortunately, right? So for me, I knew that I didn't want to experience this. This is my first year in real estate. You can see this may have been 2008. Andrew's a little bit bigger at this point. That's the year I sold 44 homes with a part-time administrator. Really just wrapping my head around what this business truly looked like. And I wasn't very present. And so this mindset of thinking like a business owner is the most critical step that you'll go through. I want to introduce you to Dave Hook, who I've had the pleasure of helping for over 5 years in his business journey. I met Dave when his wife, Jenny, was pregnant with their first child. You could see there are 3 children now, and Dave was working 80 plus hours a week. He was selling about 80, 90 homes a year, him and a buyer agent and an assistant, and he was losing his mind. He knew he wanted to go down the path of business ownership, yet didn't have the roadmap, didn't know how to get there. Fast forward to last year, even in a challenging year, he did 2.4 million GCI, more than 30% profit. And this year he'll sell 325 homes. So he'll even do more real estate this year. And he works 90 minutes a week now. So he really embraced this vision of, how do I build a business where I'm now able to be a great dad, a great husband, focus on my faith, my physical body. He's got several other businesses. In 2 days a week, I think he runs 4 businesses. So he's used the methodologies of Real Estate B School in other businesses. So my question for you, do you have any limiting beliefs when it comes to building a real real estate business? And I use real in quotes, a business that can run without you being in every aspect of it, a business that allows you to take a week or 2 off several times a year where you're fully unplugged, a business that systematically grows your net worth and you're not wondering, if you're going to be able to build your net worth, right? So here are some steps in terms of shifting your mindset. You've got to think long game in your business. Like, you've got to envision a business that's different than it is today and begin with the end in mind, knowing you're going to build a business that has leverage in it. How do I need to act today? And ask yourself the question, are you building the franchise prototype? This is 80% psychology, this entire journey. That's why this is step 1 in the 5-step process. You've got to guard your heart and mind. People are going to tell you that's not possible. People are going to tell you that you can't exit certain parts of a real estate agent's job, right? You've got to guard your mindset. And then you've got to get the emotional leverage you need to take action. For me, the motivation was really being there for my family. All right, here's step 2. How residential real estate has changed forever and what to do about it. If you haven't read the book, The Golden Egg, it's a really easy read and a profound example of how we need to stand out in business today. And it's not what you think. Here's the guiding principle of step 2. Your ability to scale your business is directly correlated to your ability to serve your clients at the highest level. I just had give me 1 second. I just want to make sure that I'm, in fact, I just had an eerie feeling that I wasn't live for some reason. So let me go to groups here just to make sure I am. All right. Good. It is working. Perfect. Beautiful. All right. So your ability to scale your business directly correlated to the service you provide your clients. So client care is actually a lead gen lever. And I want to unpack that for you. So there's an ultimate shift storm going on right now, changing consumer patterns, right? Are consumers becoming any less demanding or more demanding? Do they want stuff instantly or are they willing to wait, right? That's changing in every other industry. And yet in real estate, we haven't really responded to it. Number two is that technology is rapidly evolving, right? So if you're not embracing technology, you don't know what's going on there, you're not using it in your client care model, you're losing. Structural industry changes, right? We've got franchises that are changing. We've got, models like EXP, which are coming in and disrupting everything. We've got iBuyers. We've got, all these changes that are happening. Fear that Zillow is going to take over the world. They're going to buy a major brand, all the stuff that could happen. And then fourth, we've got just the market and economic factors, right? Shortage of inventory right now. Is the economy going to change and is that going to impact the housing market? We've got a lot of things going on. So the question is, how are you thinking about your business in terms of your ability to scale based on the service you provide? And here is the game we're playing. Let me start on the far right. The goal is to have someone that is so enamored with doing business with you that they take care of everything else. So you've got a bunch of lead sources on the left side. You have to make your contacts. You have to set appointments. You have to meet with buyers and sellers. You have to sign them up to loyal clients. You've got to get them in a property and close the transaction. Do it in a way where your business will take care of itself. So all of our processes and systems are built around paying for less stuff. Just stop paying for stuff. Stop it. Stop paying Zillow a bunch of money and calling it marketing. It's not marketing. You're ineffective at marketing if you're paying for lead sources. You can still use those lead sources if you have proper lead conversion, but you can't afford just to throw money at that. So that's a game that we're playing. I love to use this example of client care. We've been on 5 or 6 Disney cruises. Drew and his family, a fraternity brother of mine, we were on a guy's trip and he mentioned that his family was going somewhere for their spring break. I'm like, you have to come on a Disney cruise with us. He actually canceled the trip he had planned and took his kids out of school for a whole week that wasn't even their spring break because I told him it was a life-changing experience. You have to think about your real estate business the same way. How can you deliver an experience to your clients where they're going to tell strangers about how awesome you are, right? That's how we have to think about it. Here's a note that a flight attendant wrote my wife and I on a flight that we took. Thank you for flying with us today and for being Gold and Platinum Advantage members. Have a wonderful evening. Jordan, his number, the date. Right after that, I left the plane, checked my email, get an email from American Airlines. How was your trip? Net Promoter Score, right? This was back in 2019. But how likely are you to recommend American Airlines to a friend or colleague? Right? You need to think about your business this way and ask your customers these questions. And so you have to rethink your funnel with the end in mind, right? The clients, taking care of your clients and being clear on what makes your service different than the 1,000 other agents, or in my market, the 18,000 other real estate agents in my market. What makes me, my team, my business different than any of those other 17,999 agents, right? If you're not thinking this way, you're going to lose the game long-term. And you've got to think about what's your response going to be to all of the changing dynamics. Are you going to go into the gutter with your commissions and just succumb to the fact that, yeah, probably commissions are going to go down and all these tech companies and Zillow, and they're going to marginalize us and I'm just going to race to the bottom? I don't think that's the way to go. I think high client care and premium service is the only way to, and becoming the local expert is the only way to dominate in the industry. Dan Jones is another one of our members that I want to introduce you to. He's actually a business coach of ours now. I met Dan back when he moved to Charlotte to be with his mom, as his mom was ill and she was sort of exiting her time on Earth. And he actually joined my team as an inside sales agent, then an outside sales agent. Then he went on his own to build his own business. A couple years struggled just being a solo agent with a part-time administrator, doing about 60 deals. I launched Real Estate B School. He came on board, went from 60 to 105 to 167 to 225 to 267 to over 300 transactions. That's his 5-year journey. He works 4 days a week. His motivation was he didn't want to be as absent as his dad was. His dad was completely absent because he was working outside of the home and he traveled quite a bit. So he wanted to build a business that allowed him to fuel this amazing lifestyle. He does it on the right economic model. So more than 30% profit margin on a multi-million-dollar business where he's working about 20 to 25 hours a week, right? An amazing story. And so here there's steps you need to take to shift your service. Study other industries. That's probably the most fun thing we can do. You know, this is a challenge, and make it fun. You know, wherever you go, you have the opportunity to pick up something from a service perspective that you can adopt into your real estate business. Be willing to utilize leverage in the form of systems and people. So if you want every listing appointment to be treated in a certain way, write out how you want them to be treated. You want brownies sent, you want a bomb video sent, you want, you know, this to happen, that to happen. Write it out and make it happen. Make this life or death. Client care is life or death in our industry, as far as I'm concerned. And track your progress. Ask your clients what they liked about the service you provided, what they didn't like about the service. Ask them the net promoter score. How likely are you to refer us to a friend or colleague, 1 to 10? And get social proof to scale. That's the key. All right, step number 3, the key to filling your pipeline with high quality, low cost buyer and seller leads. Here's the guiding principle. Marketing is the biggest leverage point in your business. And it requires letting the world know that you can serve their real estate needs like no other agent in your market. The question here is, am I truly using marketing as leverage and building lead gen pillars that can run without me? Our lead gen levers, we have like 8 lead gen levers in Real Estate B School. They're each good for a minimum of 50 transactions, and none of them are call Zillow and buy a bunch of leads, right? So are you thinking about your business? The reason we have oil wells in this visual is your lead gen levers should be pumping out enough leads. Then you build systems around follow-up so you can turn those leads into conversations, into face-to-face interactions, into clients that are working with you the buy and sell side, that you get under contract, that you close, they say great things about you. And that is the virtuous cycle that we build out. So you've got to think about marketing as the ultimate leverage point in your business. That's where I spent the long nights in my business, building out systems for database marketing, systems for client care, systems for expired, systems for FSBOs, our yard marketing system, open house systems, even virtual open house systems now. So it's massive leverage in your business. And stop being a hostage to how the industry, the Zillows, the Realtor.coms, they want to take over as much of the commission check as they can. And a lot of agents and team builders are held hostage to those lead sources because they never figure out how to generate leads on their own. They succumb to other people being better marketers. Now there's a bunch of listing lead gen referral sources where they're paying anywhere from 30 to 40% referral fees. You're going to lose the game and not scale your business if you're a hostage. And you got to tell your story. Actually, tell their story. There's a book by Donald Miller called Story Brand, where it's not, you don't want to say, I'm number one, I'm the best. You want to say, hey, look at what I did for this, you know, trade up buyer. Look at what I did for this expired seller. Look at what I did for this FSBO. Look what I did for these first time buyers. Look at what I did for this couple that had really bad credit and how I came alongside them, right? You want to tell stories as the thing that attracts people into your world. Social proof is everything in marketing. It is the leading match there that lights them all on fire is social proof, getting people to say good things about you. And there's massive power in social proof. I have a story that changed everything. I went to a dentist, literally Ballantyne Center for Dentistry. The owners started on radio the same time that I started in radio, back in like 2009 or so, 2010 maybe. I go into the dentist's office. They asked me a question. I'm checking out. The checkout lady asked me a question. She says, "Hey, have you given us a 5-star review yet?" I said, "No, I haven't." She's like, "Take out your phone." I'm like, "Okay." Find a browser. Okay. Google Ballantyne. Okay, there it is. Click on it. Did you have a 5-star experience? Oh, wait, click there. And she's like, "We're going through it together." And obviously I know how to do this, and then I hit submit and I'm like, "That was awesome." Instantly I said, "I've got 2 questions for you. Are you paid? Do you get a bonus when you get a review? And why do you think the owners ask you to do that?" And she, in no uncertain terms, she's like, "Yep, I get a small bonus every time I get a review. And the owners have told me that mass media and the other things and paid leads are not working by a factor of like 4 or 5, as well as our public Google reviews." I went back to the office immediately and I said, I think I Googled like best agent in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it wasn't us. And I'm like, we have got to change everything. And so at this point, High Performance Real Estate Advisors has 869 reviews. They're not all 5 stars. I think that's even better. Yet the commitment to be visible and not have to pay for it. Now this is constantly generating business for us. So the question is, are you the best agent in your market? Dave Friedman, I had the pleasure of another one of our longtime members. Met Dave when he came off a year, he did 35 transactions. The year I met him, he did 60 to 65, working 70, 80 hours, part-time assistant, just focusing all on the sales, not so much on systems. Last year, he did 350 transactions. The year I met him, Haley, his bride, she was not thrilled with the amount of hours that he was working. That's an understatement. And they didn't take any vacation for 3 years. His first 3 years in the business, no vacation. He's more than 10x his income, and he consistently takes 15 weeks of vacation for each of the last 5 years running now. Recently, he took 30 days unplugged. You couldn't reach him. They went to the Galapagos and then he went fishing. 2 weeks in the Galapagos and then 2 weeks fishing with some buddies. And so more proof that you can build a business, and his business is built on just having a never-ending presence in terms of social proof and doing the right thing for his clients. So here are the steps to shift your marketing. You've got to track. You've got to track everything. You've got to know exactly where all the lead sources. If you're running a team, you've got to know which agents are meeting with which lead sources. There's multiple and different angles to track all of it. You've got to go deep, not wide. You've got to cut out a bunch of stuff so you can really master a single lead source. And I love this one. Imagine that you couldn't spend any money on leads. Use social media strategically in your business, but be careful. We have social media as a lead gen lever, but it's not what you think it is. It's one of our lead gen levers. Install a process for getting testimonials. You've got to get testimonials from everyone and get Google reviews from everyone you do business with, and use those testimonials in your marketing. All right, here's step 4. To bust the myth that you must put in more hours to make more money. This is the most challenging myth that we bust. Here's the guiding principle. The income you've been making in real estate is simply the result of the choices you've made with where to spend your time. That's a hard truth for some of you. The income you're making is simply a function of where you spend your time and overtime. So let's break this down. Here's the question. What are the most dollar productive activities in a real estate business? Just think about them, so, new business development, lead follow-up, meeting with buyers and sellers, negotiating contracts. If you're running a team, you're recruiting, you're coaching, being a culture keeper, those are like the most dollar productive, like 6 or 7 things that make you a lot of money in real estate. But the second question is, are you spending 80+% of your time doing the most dollar productive activities? And then why not? Do you have a process in place where you can take the things off of your plate that aren't making you a lot of money? The average agent, even team leader, they are spending half their day doing administrative or courier type work. Like, we actually do time studies in Real Estate B School where we challenge our team leaders and their senior people to track exactly where they spend their time. And then be honest with yourself. Is your time being spent the best way that it could possibly be spent, and why not? Cool thing here, we all have the same amount of it and it's finite. How do I do something different with my time over time and achieve a certain result? And our most successful members. And then we have some members that can't get out of their own way. And we really have to have these difficult conversations like, where are you spending your time? Let's do a time study. Let's slow our roll, be honest with ourselves. But the cool game in business is that we all have the same amount of time. And I don't think for a second that these aren't challenging times. Meaning that I know we have multiple priorities where I'm a husband, I'm a dad, I'm a business builder. I've got a couple businesses. I've got my faith that I want to tend to, my physical body. So we're like in this completely, crazy world of like overcommitting ourselves, and how do we get it all done? This concept called Business Freedom Index is a very simple calculation. Great time of year to do it. Most of us have completed our last year our taxes before owner's comp. Typically, I take my adjusted gross income for the year for my tax returns, and I divide it by the total hours that I work. In 2007, my first 10 months in the business, I calculated my BFI to be $18.50 an hour. In that 10 months, I worked roughly 2,000 hours, and I made $37,000 on 250 gross. I wasted a lot of money. I was in a not great situation with my broker at the time. So what does that look like for you? I figured out a way to get this to be $2,600 an hour in 2014. So about 6-7 years later, I went from under 20 bucks an hour to, what is that? More than 25 times increase in my dollar productivity based on me elevating out of the things in the business that weren't dollar productive. So Stacy Peterson is another one of our members that I have to introduce you to. Stacy was the first person in Real Estate B School to give me money to help her grow her business. 6 months, we had her out of production. She went from 100 transactions working both sides of the business, working totally out of bounds 7 days a week, to over 300 transactions where she was only working 2 days a week in that business. Came on full-time in Real Estate B School, helped me grow the company, ended up financially exiting her real estate business, 7-figure valuation, and has just done amazing things. And so she had all these priorities, right? To be a great mom, to be a great wife. Our kids are very similar ages, so we connected on that level as well. And she wanted to kick butt in business as well. She didn't want to have to choose between the different roles and to let one of them suffer. And so it is possible to do this the right way and to de-link the amount of money you make versus the hours that you work. So here are some steps to shift your productivity. Think in terms of your highest and best use. And this is going to change over time. So maybe now it's lead gen. You're at a point where you still have to do new business development every day, as many hours a day as you possibly can. At some point, maybe it's going to be only to follow up with past clients. At some point, it may just be recruiting new agents and coaching them, right? You've got to think in terms of highest and best use of your time. Honor your work on business time blocks. In your calendar, you have to have work on business time blocks. These are time blocks where you're working on your business. You've got to know your BFI. You've got to know what it is and where you want it to get to, right? For me, my first commitment was to get to $250 per hour in my business. Most guys are working 3,000 hours a year and they're not making 300 grand. And so they're at less than $100 an hour, right? Most agents, even if running a team, they're at 50 to 75 bucks an hour. There will be necessary endings in terms of productivity. You've got to stop doing things. So there'll be things you have to give up. You've got to get on the same page with your loved ones and the commitments you're making with your time and what your ideal week looks like. We've got systems for all of that. And you've got to follow a proven plan. All right, here's step number 5, the strategic tools and systems you'll need to start scaling your business today. And here is the guiding principle. Not only is it possible to scale your business without losing your life, but it's predictable when you have a clear roadmap in place. And the question is based on where you are today, how confident are you in terms of where you're going? We have this all mapped out that there are 7 or 6 stages of growth that our members go through when they get into Real Estate B School. Each of them have a level of time investment, of feeling, strategic questions, how you graduate to the next level, a whole bunch of tools and systems in a certain order, and a team structure associated with it. Bottom line, as I said earlier, it's about helping you make more money, have more freedom, and ultimately have more impact in your family and in your community. And then the question is, who do you hang out with, right? We know there are studies that this is one done out of Harvard, that 95% of your success or failure in life is determined by the people you habitually associate with. So what does that community look like for you? Another study by HSE, Center for Institutional Studies, those who hang out with high achievers improve their own performance. Those who hang out with underachievers see their performance suffer. So if you're in your brokerage and you're hanging out and water cooler talk with somebody that sells 5 homes a year, the chance that you sell 50 homes a year, 100 or 250 are really, really low. So University of Chicago tells us that people with multiple strong social networks have early access to valuable information, earn more money, and receive more recognition. Cody Riddle, who has been with us for about 5 years, she was at about 300,000 GCI when she came into our world. Wasn't really thrilled with her real estate business. She was at the end of her rope. I think she was like 18 years into the industry at this point. She did $1.5 million GCI last year. She'll do more this year. She just messaged me recently. She said, thanks to you, they took a 4-day long weekend. This was over the July 4th holiday. She said, thanks to you, we had 5 commission checks, waiting for us when we got back. And she had 3 listing appointments set for her for like the Tuesday, Wednesday of just getting back into the swing of things. Right. So the amount of leverage that she's been able to implement, and specifically the Real Estate B School tools and systems and how that helped her grow is awesome. So here are some steps to help you shift your approach. Is you got to choose faith over fear when it comes to getting out of your comfort zone. Trust that there is a path, right? This thing is built on my journey and hundreds that have gone before you. You've got to think like a business owner and less like a real estate agent. Growth is not easy. Expect to have tough days and create the vision for your business and then break it down. Oop, I'm going backwards. So here's what we went through. This mindset, this business owner mindset, right? Thinking like a business owner, how the industry has changed and what to do about it, filling your pipeline and social proof, the whole time money connection. And then we went through the strategic business tools. There are most of you that want to learn a way. Like, I like everything you're saying. All of it sounds awesome. It was great meeting all those successful B School members. Some of you want to go further faster and want to offer you a conversation around that. The mission of Real Estate B School is to help you build a highly profitable business through the use of sustainable systems and empower people so that you can make more money, experience less stress, and take more time off. And so I want to get into what our coaching and training looks like if you are interested. First question is, are we a match, right? You should join Real Estate B School only if you're a particular kind of person. You're an emerging or existing team leader. We've got folks in our world from 250K GCI to upwards of 5 million GCI. With the thing in common is that they are well supportive from an administrative standpoint. They're willing to commit time in their calendar to doing the work of business building versus just selling more homes. You're coaching, you're willing to challenge the status quo. You're tired of being underpaid and overworked. You're ready to scale your business, and you're tired of giving up your personal life. If this is you, you'll be obsessed with what we've built. Here's the breakdown of the core offering in Real Estate B School. You get access to everything we have, everything that we have, all the tool systems, all the documents, templates, everything. And I'll go through that, what that looks like in a second. Live business coaching Monday and Thursday every week. So you get on with me or Stacy Peterson, our lead business coach, and dive deep on any issue that you're having and get those questions answered live. I do a live training every week, every Wednesday. We did a training this well, actually today, on our 3-1-90, 3-year vision, 1-year plan, 90-day world, our business freedom planning system, how to pick projects, how to work on them, and acclimate around all of that in your business. That was an example of a training that I did. You get access to all of our foundational tools. This is a set of analytical tools that allow you to do your personal wellness assessments, your strategic business assessments, track your net worth, track the leading indicators in your business, the lagging indicators in your business. There's a set of foundational tools that will teach you how to run. We do a monthly mastermind where you can actually get your specific challenges solved that are in your business. And you get access to our private online community. You also get access to all of our drivers. Attract, right? Database marketing, listing marketing, and buyer marketing. There's 8 lead gen levers that you'll get access to. They're each good for 50 deals. That's at least a $2,000 value, if not a whole bunch more. Convert. How do you take those leads and all the follow-up systems, the appointment setting process, and the consultation process? Then how, once they're a committed client, how do you deliver a world-class experience that's referral worthy, client servicing, transaction management, and all the critical tech tools, and all the nitty-gritty details and documents, and how to manage Trello and all the checklists and Trello sample boards. That's how we manage all of our business operations. And then scale is about creating your future, knowing your numbers, growing your team, all the planning systems, all the tracking documents broken down and taught how to use, grow your team, the culture, the cadence, how to hire people, how to review people, how to run team meetings, annual planning meetings, all of it is included. There are 2 ways that you can interact with us. One is just a monthly tuition payment of $797, no long-term commitment, cancel at any time. Many of our members opt to pay for a full year because you get 2 months off. After a year, you go month to month, but you get almost $1,600 of savings if you opt in for our annual plan. And there's no coaching or training program like Real Estate B School. Here is our guarantee. I have no doubt if you go all in, you'll be successful. There's 100% results guarantee. If you do the work and you reach out to us when you're stuck, you will get the results. There's a 0% money back guarantee, right? We know our stuff works, but you need to take 100% responsibility for the results. You've got to do the work. You've got to challenge yourself. We're going to be there to come alongside you, to coach you, to train you, to give you support, to lift you up when you're feeling weak, because we've done this many, many times. And here's the real opportunity. It's to learn from my mistakes. Everything we teach in Real Estate B School is a function of the suffering, the trial and error that I experienced. And I've done almost 5,000 transactions in my career. I got it down to 1 day a week. I have the liquid net worth to show for it. I have the residual income. I don't say those things to brag, just that I'm walking the talk, right? Is that the expression? Walk the walk, walk the talk. And it's my mission to help others come along after me and do the journey. So there are a few bonuses that I want to give you access to. Number one is we've done at this point 15 2-day intensive workshops. You get access to all of those trainings, all of the guides and workbooks and documents for all of our intensive workshops. Those are 2-day sessions that you get access to. We have a team toolbox, which includes lead conversion training and role plays and the buyer consultation framework, listing consultation framework. That's for agents that come onto your team. It's turnkey training. And you get access to all of our past weekly specialist training. So it is a stout offering. Here is the bottom line. This is what we stand for. First off is more money to live a lifestyle you want and you deserve. But we don't want you to sacrifice your freedom to do it. So it's more freedom to enjoy with friends and family. And then ultimately it's about having more impact to make a difference in your world and the world. And here's the last thing I'll leave you with is, this was my guiding quote in my heavy build years. It was like, and this is Napoleon Hill, whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And so take action, go to joinrebs.com, join REBS.com. All the details are over there. I'm going to see if I can jump into, I'm going to stop screen share here real quick. I've got a few minutes left, so I'm going to jump into the member portal and kind of just give you a runaround. Runaround sounds negative. I guess I didn't mean it as a negative, but let me pull up a window here. And I'm going to come in here and show you exactly what it's showing as invalid. Actually just figured this out a second. Give me 1 second, because I do want to roll around the member platform for you. It'll be really, really helpful. That's probably not going to do it. Son of a gun. I just figured this out, my friends. I will get it working here. I promise you. Give me 1 second. Password. All right, here we go. All right, let me share a different screen so y'all can see what you are getting involved in at Real Estate B School. So let me click here. All right, so here is what the member portal looks like, and then I'll show you what the community looks like and what the support looks like. So here's the team toolbox. When you click on it, it's broken down into a few different buckets, some documents and presentations and templates that you'll swipe. All of our buyer conversion calls are organized in different, how you nurture, role plays, objection handling, how you track, your mindset, internet leads, the buyer presentation, all of that stuff. Same thing on the listing side. Massive training for expired, tracking, FSBOs, seller presentation, mindset. We have a whole prospecting training series that you can plug into. So that's what that looks like. Foundational tools. I mentioned personal wellness assessment. So this is a process where I take you through exactly how you go through a personal wellness assessment and what it looks like. So these are short trainings. Just an example of one of the trainings here. That's foundational tools. The Business Freedom Planner. This is a system that we train on monthly, or actually quarterly. And I break down the entire process. You can order a physical copy, or you have access to a copy that you can print out. That is our planning system. Intensive workshops. This is one of the bonuses. So you can see, let's go back to 2018, the fall. That was a weird year. We were in Charleston, and like a hurricane came through, shut down the city. But you can see we had an ops breakout there, world-class service, team leader breakouts, lead conversion training. You get access to all of those intensive workshops. Market shift toolkit. I won't go into that. Attract, convert, deliver. Create your future is about planning. I'm going to go through grow your team here. This is one of our drivers. So identifying and attracting talent, hiring and onboarding team members, team culture and cadence. Let's click on this. You can see each one of the trainings. So this is the new agent onboard system, comes with all of the documents swipeable. Think about that for a second. The power of that, not having to recreate any of this. And we did, let me show you this one. Cracking the talent code, another key tool. One of our coaches, Dan Jones, gave away his whole training manual, 172 pages on how he onboards new agents. Gave it away. Amazing. That's an example of our drivers. And then you can look at the last part here, our specialist trainings. So I'll start with some of the more recent ones you can see on the right here. So we do some client spotlights. We did a script training with Dan Jones, where he gave away a 98-page script book, and he showed us how he's getting a 13 times return on paid lead sources. Develop yourself as a leader, right? Nobody really teaches leadership. We did a deep dive on that. How to shift from transactional management to transformational leadership. Business Freedom Planner, helping you guys get set up on that once a quarter. Mindset shifts, leadership abilities. If you need an agent, if you need to hire an agent, here's the step-by-step process and all of the documents, and our new agent training system, like literally our 12-week step-by-step new agent training system. Same thing on the admin side, right? If you have to hire an administrator, all of the documents, how to assess an admin, all the training slides associated with it. Profit first, we run profit first. Admin fees, if you're not collecting them, and commission menu, right? What does that look like? So how do you run a commission menu? Training, right? How do you use a menu like that to get more than your fair share of commission? Well, to get your fair share of commission, using Facebook to recruit. I almost said fake book. Lead routing system, lead management, referral marketing. You know, what does referral marketing look like? How do you upgrade your referral marketing system? What that looks like. Lead conversion challenge. So a good example here is like, so running a lead conversion challenge and having a workbook that you can give yourself and your team access, where the whole thing is set out for you. How do you track your activities? What does it look like? Your set met signed, your dials, your planning for the week, all of it's laid out. It's unbelievably powerful. So those are examples of a whole bunch of our weekly specialists showing specialist advantage. A full training, an hour-long training with all of the docs on how to hire a showing specialist. So you're not showing homes anymore, but the buyers are getting an unbelievable service. Crackling the talent code, went through that one, right? Buyer consultation framework, all of the documents that go in the listing packet, in the buyer packet rather, and what that looks like. You get access to all of it. Same thing on the listing side, listing consultation framework. A training with a whole bunch of accompanying documents and what that looks like. And you can swipe and deploy all of those right into your business. The agent achievement expander. How do you keep an agent engaged and achieving on your team? All of it and all the associated documents, right? Here's a good, so here's a document in terms of how do you get your agents, what's the path to making really good money, right? So we've got a lot of visuals that you can swipe and deploy into your business. So it is a full-blown turnkey systems all over. Let me get into the Facebook group here so you can get a little bit of an idea of what the Facebook group looks like. REBS. So here's a private members Facebook group. You know, we've got folks, like I said, 250,000 to over 5 million in GCI in this group. It's super collaborative, super, here you can see, this is just an example of what are, cancel. I don't want to do that. I don't know why it opened that. That was the Zoom link. So here's, you know, every month we put this out and we get you clear on what the training is for the month. So you'll have access to all of that. Then we've got, so this is the training I did today in the 3190 system. You can see there were associated documents with it. You get access to all of that. You're going to get to know your members, right? Here's a member spotlight. Scott Smith, he's just finishing out his third year with Real Estate B Score, entering his third year, and he's perfectly on track. Just entered into our boardroom group. So he just passed that. He'll do $1.2 million, $1.3 million, maybe a little bit more this year. So he's one of our success stories, and you'll be in the same group as him. Here's our business coaching calls. So Stacy will run with some training and then she'll get into answering questions. Here's what's next. You just get a sense of what the community looks like. Here's someone asking, like, where do they get their DISC tests, right? Another business coaching. Here's all of the July stuff. Here's Squeeze a Lemon with Dan Jones, where he gave all of his stuff away, and then also brought his operator onto the call to show how they work their call lists in Mojo, right? So this is only the last couple weeks that I'm going through. A sign system, right? How does Dan 3x the amount of calls that he gets with the REBS sign system? Super powerful. Here's business freedom planning. I was just doing a nature break. You can see me walking away. But you'll have access to all of this, right? So me taking through the business freedom planner and what that looks like and getting access to it. Daily coaching. Again, this was, I think we did the expired system with Janie Coffee. One of our members was willing to give away her luxury expired system. Super powerful. So like I said, the investment level in the program is either $797 cancel anytime, or $79.70 for a year. Then you go month to month. Go to joinrebs.com. I'm going to get into the Facebook group, see if you guys have any questions. Make the commitment to build a real business that serves you and allows you to be present in the areas of life that matter more than selling the next home. Much love, much respect. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.